This is my passion, and the most creative expression that we can pull together. A format to separate facts from feelings so the information flows a little bit better. I've been groomed by the great ones. I do more than just make it rhyme. I make it make sense on a level so there's no doubt in your mind that you heard the truth the first time. That's why I'm able to step out with no fear and know that I can deliver. So less talking unless it's poetry. Don't move unless there's purpose behind it. This is a mental picture developing in front of you, and there's good intentions behind it. My name is Artist Romero, and this is Cosmic Poetry Radio. We are broadcasting live from Worldwide Access Studios, live with no safety net. Welcome back. Thank you once again for tuning in to Cosmic Poetry Radio. My name is Artist Romero, holding it down for the home team. Tonight's episode is brought to you by arminarmforclimate.org and also Mississippi Rising Coalition. Check them out at msrising.com. Last week, we introduced you to the Arm in Arm team from across the 3 states, Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. And now we're going to get into the who, the what, the why, and the how. Who we are is we are friends and family, co-workers and neighbors. We are indigenous, we are migrants, we are of all colors, ages, races, religions, genders, and backgrounds and abilities who want to protect the places we love and the people we love. Everybody deserves a stable home, decent work, and a livable future. And what we are doing. We are building a massive decentralized movement to end the climate crisis. Our goal is to ignite a transformational era that ends the climate crisis by putting racial and economic justice front and center. And why are we doing this? The window to meet the historical challenge of climate change is closing. We're already losing our livelihoods and our lives. We refuse to support a system that does not support us and threatens our lives. Politicians and dirty energy industries will continue to sacrifice in our communities and pretend as though we don't have any other choice in the matter. And we do. Once again, broadcasting live from Worldwide Access Studios, my name is Artist Romero, and we're big on giving flowers while folks are still alive. So dig this. Want to give our flowers to a real activist, a real humanitarian, somebody who's really knee-deep in the revolution, and that is the founder of Mississippi Rising Coalition, Miss Leah Campbell. Give her flowers right now. You stay close. This is Cosmic Poetry Radio, broadcasting live from Worldwide Access Studios.
As we first reported late last night, the governor of New Jersey ordered on Friday for Mississippi's banner to be removed from a display in Liberty State Park featuring each state's flag. We asked some Mississippians for their thoughts.
I'm very disappointed in him, but I'm not a voter in New Jersey. I don't have the right to say, he can believe this or believe that. I hate it, and I wish that, he would take a chance to actually learn what the flag represents.
I don't view him taking the Mississippi state flag down as a diss of Mississippi. I view it as support for inclusion, for equality. I view it as a support for all Mississippians.
The second person you heard from there is a well-known on the coast for speaking out about the state flag, Mississippi Rising Coalition founder and social activist Leah Campbell. This month represents 3 years of the organization pushing for social justice reform. And despite being the target of harsh social media attacks, Campbell says she is as energized as she has ever been.
Be kind, be true, be courageous.
This is the headquarters for Mississippi Rising Coalition and founder Leah Campbell's sanctuary to be inspired and to plan events like this.
We are here to tell the whole truth and to stand for justice.
Oddly, she says this is not her preferred way to communicate.
But I've sort of had to get out of my comfort zone in this process and just force myself to get out there and do it.
And it's helped her find her identity.
I kind of enjoy being a hellraiser at times.
For 3 years now, Campbell's Mississippi Rising Coalition has been protesting to change the state flag. And while she realizes the change will be slow, she says there is a momentum shift.
The fact that energy has grown is just confirmation to me that we did the right thing.
And she says the work will pay off.
I have full faith that the flag will change. I don't know when, I don't know how long it's going to take, but I do know that we're not going to stop until it happens.
But there's more to the organization, including pushing for better health care and LGBTQ rights.
It goes far beyond the flag. The flag is representative of all these other issues that we work on.
This kind of work, she says, comes with a price, like losing friends and being threatened every day.
I feel so strongly about what we're doing and why we're doing it. I'm not going to let the hate and the animosity deter what we're doing.
She says the organization spends more time behind the scenes planning and organizing, but she adds that protests like the one over the state flag in Ocean Springs are few but important.
That was a moment, and that was a moment that had to be addressed.
Campbell says to make room for Mississippi Rising Coalition, she's had to step back a little from her profession as a physical therapist.
I would definitely say it has consumed me. It energizes me, to be honest.
And for the second year, the Mississippi Rising Coalition is also hosting its Dialogue on Race in Mississippi and planning to take registrations for meetings in Hancock and Jackson counties in the next.
The goal of this show is to bring you the truth. Honest conversations amongst Mississippians about things we thought we knew. There are certain segments of what we do that might make you question best practices about water, energy, climate, housing, and food. From the Delta to the coast and all parts in between, Mississippi is more than just hard times and poverty, misplaced potential, an unfinished masterpiece, a canvas begging for more, and we can paint this new Mississippi. Growth is always uncomfortable. This is going to get loud. Mississippi has always managed to quietly sink to the bottom, but things are different now. This is Mississippi for a Green New Deal.
On Time Mobile Tire Shop. Roadside assistance services. Mounting and balancing. Fuel delivery. Emergency Mobile Tire Shop. I-10 mounting and balancing tires. On the highway service. Can fix your flat tire on the road. We service customers' home location. Battery jumpstart, vehicle lockouts, flat tire repair. Call 228-235-7342 or Google On Time Mobile Tire Shop.
This is my passion, and the most creative expression that we can pull together. A format to separate facts from feelings so the information flows a little bit better. I've been groomed by the great ones. I do more than just make it rhyme. I make it make sense on a level so there's no doubt in your mind that you heard the truth the first time. That's why I'm able to step out with no fear and know that I can deliver. So less talking unless it's poetry. Don't move unless there's purpose behind it. This is a mental picture developing in front of you, and there's good intentions behind it. My name is Artist Romero, and this is Cosmic Poetry Radio.
Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in.
If you're looking for a safe place to put your mind, you found it. My name is Artist Romero, aka Stuttering Stanley. Welcome back to Cosmic Poetry Radio. Oh, we got something good coming up for you next, all right? We'd like to be historically accurate, give you something that you can feel, something that you can use, so dig this. Imagine yourself on the highway, and you're just going. You're running with the spirits, you're gaining knowledge so you'll know it. You'll plant the seed and grow it. You'll prune it up and show it. It's kind of like building a temple on the stones that came before it. I mean, one little mistake could blow it. It's gonna take your time. You're gonna nurture this masterpiece, create it line for line. Getting you ready for the big statewide action December 10th, protesting, making folks aware of Mississippi Power, Southern Company, and predatory business practices all across the state. Want to say hello to my folks in Waynesboro. Miss Latanya, thank you for your support. We'll see you December 10th, all right? Up next is Dr. Dixie Ray Haggard from Valdosta State with some indigenous information, getting you ready for Thanksgiving. No, we don't do that anymore. Celebrating indigenous lives on Cosmic Poetry Radio. You stay close.
Most Americans know something about Jim Crow segregation. Most Americans know that legal segregation was used to deny African Americans their civil rights. What most Americans don't know is those same laws were used against Native Americans in the South. In 2013, the Council for the Pascagoula River Tribe came to me and asked me to do two things. They asked me to help them get acknowledgement from the federal government, and they asked me to tell their story. So I promised to do that, and today I'm here honoring that promise to tell you part of their story. Now, who are they? Pascagoula River Tribe, their homeland is about 20 miles inland on the west bank of the Pascagoula River. They have an archaeological culture that goes back 1,900 years. Do you know where your ancestors were specifically 1,900 years ago? They do. They are direct descendants of the historic Pascagoula tribe and Frenchmen. And the children that come from those intermarriages were called Creole during that time period. Now in 1764, a majority of the Pascagoula tribe moved west of the Mississippi River. The people that remained behind became the Pascagoula River tribe. Now, this is specifically their genealogy. During the colonial period, colonial authorities didn't really keep track of individual Native Americans, but when they married people of European descent, they kept track of that. Magdalene Boudreaux-Paquette, she had multiple children with two different men. She is an ancestor to 100% of the tribe. Jean-Baptiste Boudreaux, who was her half-brother, he had multiple children with two different women, and he is ancestor to about 75% of the tribe. And an unnamed Native woman who married Pierre Ladner, who was the great-grandson of Magdalene, is an ancestor to about 50% of the tribe. And at some point, several generations as you got into the 18th century, their descendants started marrying into each other, and especially after 1764 when the majority of the Pascagoulas left. And in the 19th century, 10 other people with various levels of Native American ancestry married into this tribe. And then by 1900, over 200 people lived in the traditional homeland with a few other families that had moved off to nearby towns and nearby counties. Now, what is a Creole? Originally in the 18th century, a Creole was a person born of a Frenchman. Frenchmen born in the homeland were Frenchmen. The people that were born in the colony were Creoles. Today in the state of Louisiana, it depends on where you are. Sometimes it reflects your African American ancestry, sometimes it reflects your Native American ancestry, sometimes it just reflects your French ancestry. But there's always a French or Spanish ancestry connected to it. So it changes from community to community as you move through the state of Louisiana. In Mobile, Alabama, and Pensacola, Florida, it means you have predominantly African American ancestry with some French and or Spanish ancestry. In northwest Jackson County, near Van Cleve, in the tribal homeland, which lies between these two areas, it originally meant that they were children of Frenchmen, and that carried through to the 20th century. But in the 20th century, it became a racial slur. It became the equivalent of the N-word, and it was used to deny them their heritage. It was used to point out that they were not white. And it was used because they had such a small community to insinuate that something was wrong with who they were. And so as a result, that word denied them their heritage. And so we get to segregation. Now, racism doesn't make any sense. Racism is built on fear and ignorance. Legal racism, segregation, is illogical. It creates conflicts, it creates controversy, it contradicts itself. And when you look at the schools, this required the county to have 3 different schools for 3 different races: African Americans, Native Americans, and Anglo Americans. And some of the records that they have for the school, the state required them to identify the race of the children that they were teaching. And some of the teachers wrote in Indian, white, Creole. That's absurd. That's absurd. They had to have separate churches. They had separate cemeteries. They couldn't be buried in the same soil. Seating on public transportation shows the contradictions. In the early 20th century, Native Americans could ride with whites on the railroad cars. African Americans could not. But later in the century, as you got to buses, Native Americans and African Americans had to sit back behind whites. They had to give up seats to whites. When you got into the local theater in Van Cleve, Mississippi specifically, you get into a situation where African Americans and Native Americans had to sit in the back behind the whites in the balcony, separated from the whites. When you got into indoor dining, and it was a white establishment, African Americans and Native Americans could not eat inside with whites. They had to go behind the restaurant to get their meals and leave. And this is where there is a difference between those two, the two communities, African American and Native American, in that the African American community was much larger, had connections to outside the Van Cleve area, and there was a black middle class, and so they had some of their own businesses, and they had some of their own restaurants and that catered to their community. And that community was not near where the Native American community was. So there really wasn't a lot of options there for Native Americans for anything. And they were too small to really have any kind of economic infrastructure. And this is the same with employment. Yes, in Jackson County, Mississippi, whites had better employment. African Americans got less than, but they were able to generate more within their community than the Native Americans could in their community. When it came to health care, the closest hospital was in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, that's down on the coast, and they had an African American wing and they had a white wing. They didn't have a place for Native Americans, and when they showed up and they had to stay in the hospital, they were left in the hallway unless the staff could find somebody that was in a white room or in an African American room that would allow them to stay in that room. Otherwise, they were stuck in the hallway. The first public school created for this community occurred about 40 years after the African American community and the white community got their first public schools. These students could not go to the white school, they could not go to the African American school, and they could not go beyond the 8th grade. African Americans could go to the 12th grade, whites could go to the 12th grade. See, again, the contradictions just don't make any sense. On top of that, they weren't taught their history, their Native American history, or their culture. They were just taught a basic education. They only got one bus, and that only came in the 1930s. And if you couldn't get to the route of the bus, you couldn't get to school. Most of the students lived miles and miles away from the school. The first school was built on property given to the tribe, given by the tribe to the county. They built the school, but the county ran it, and they had a board of trustees that helped the county run it.
The goal of this show is to bring you the truth. Honest conversations amongst Mississippians about things we thought we knew. There are certain segments of what we do that might make you question best practices about water, energy, climate, housing, and food. From the Delta to the coast and all parts in between, Mississippi is more than just hard times and poverty, misplaced potential, an unfinished masterpiece, a canvas begging for more, and we can paint this new Mississippi. Growth is always uncomfortable. This is going to get loud. Mississippi has always managed to quietly sink to the bottom, but things are different now. This is Mississippi for a Green New Deal.
On-time mobile tire shop roadside assistance services semi-truck jumpstart. Semi-truck jumpstart. Semi-truck diesel fuel delivery. Box truck diesel fuel delivery. Semi-truck vehicle lockouts. Glad hand seal replacement. Red and blue air line replacement. Green electrical line replacement. Semi-truck and trailer light testing. And electric brake testing. Semi-truck air tank water draining. And air tank PSI pressure build-up. On-time mobile tire shop roadside assistance services. Call 228-235-7342.
This is my passion, and the most creative expression that we can pull together. A format to separate facts from feelings so the information flows a little bit better. I've been groomed by the great ones. I do more than just make it rhyme. I make it make sense on a level so there's no doubt in your mind that you heard the truth the first time. That's why I'm able to step out with no fear and know that I can deliver. So less talking unless it's poetry. Don't move unless there's purpose behind it. This is a mental picture developing in front of you, and there's good intentions behind it. My name is Artist Romero, and this is Cosmic Poetry Radio.
Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide, we worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in.
What up? Look, check this out. Today I got 5 signs. 5 signs. It's time for you to level up. Sign number 1, you the go-to for information and support to help everybody around you move forward. But ain't nobody around you got no information to give you a support that can help you move forward. Sign number 2, you don't even waste time trying to talk sense into people around you no more. You just hit them with that, oh, okay, that's what's up. Oh, yeah, all right. It's gonna work out for you. Sign number 3, people around you plugged into you like an outlet, siphoning off your energy. but ain't nobody around you can plug into and replenish your energy. The best you can do is sleep. Sign number 4. You always a dependable lender, but ain't nobody around you got it when you need to be the borrower. And sign number 5. If it wasn't for work and loved ones, you wouldn't even answer your phone, because it seemed like every time you answer, somebody needs something or going through something. Time to level up. Free game.
Don't move unless there's purpose behind it. This is a mental picture developing in front of you, and there's good intentions behind it. My name is Artist Romero, and this is Cosmic Poetry Radio.
Worldwide.
The goal of this show is to bring you the truth. Honest conversations amongst Mississippians about things we thought we knew. There are certain segments of what we do that might make you question best practices about water, energy, climate, housing, and food. From the Delta to the coast and all parts in between, Mississippi is more than just hard times and poverty, misplaced potential, an unfinished masterpiece, a canvas begging for more, and we can paint this new Mississippi. Growth is always uncomfortable. This is going to get loud. Mississippi has always managed to quietly sink to the bottom, but things are different now. This is Mississippi for a Green New Deal.
On Time Mobile Tire Shop. Roadside Assistance Services. Mounting and balancing. Fuel delivery. Emergency Mobile Tire Shop. I-10 mounting and balancing tires. On the highway service. Can fix your flat tire on the road. We service customers' home location. Battery jumpstart, vehicle lockouts, flat tire repair. Call 228-235-7342 or Google On Time Mobile Tire Shop.
Take it from the top.
This is my passion, and the most creative expression that we can pull together. A format to separate facts from feelings so the information flows a little bit better. I've been groomed by the great ones. I do more than just make it rhyme. I make it make sense on a level so there's no doubt in your mind that you heard the truth the first time. That's why I'm able to step out with no fear and know that I can deliver. So less talking unless it's poetry. Don't move unless there's purpose behind it. This is a mental picture developing in front of you, and there's good intentions behind it. My name is Artist Romero, and this is Cosmic Poetry Radio.
Worldwide. We worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide. We worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in. Tune in to Worldwide Access. Worldwide. We worldwide. All you gotta do is just tune in.